I'm a soundtracker, and it's really humid out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Soundtracker, and I found something kinda odd when I was out shopping a few weeks ago, and I decided to get it to show you. Now, it's a pair of earphones, and I know, what's so special about earphones? Well, check out these ones. I mean, first off, they claim to be no-tangle earphones, and second, they glow in the dark. I mean, I love anything that glows in the dark, so that's an immediate plus in my book. But enough of my babbling. Let's get into this and check it out. Ah, there we go. A change in the angle did something for the glow-in-the-dark effect at least, but it's still not really all that visible. I wish it would shine a little more, but it's really cool in person. Anyway, starting off with the package, I mean, they're pretty much boxed like earphones are boxed. I mean, not really anything special, just kind of a what you see is what you get. Let's come around to the back for a minute, though, because there is some interesting stuff back here. The first thing that caught my eye was the way the "for use with" was worded when I got the package. Now, I don't know about you, but if I find an electronic device that has bad grammar on it, I generally try to steer clear from it. Now, I mean, they're great for comedic purposes and showing to friends, but if I'm gonna buy something and use it seriously, I really don't want the label to tell me that
In need to change the batteries when the LED of power is flicker.
I guess the wording on the package isn't all that bad, but it irks me. Now, the next thing that caught my attention, though, is this, the frequency response and impedance section. Now, the human hearing spectrum is from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, and this isn't a big concern if you're using speakers, because on a typical speaker there's a device inside of it called the crossover, and that will send the appropriate range of signals to the appropriate parts of the speaker, i.e. the higher frequencies will end up at the tweeter, and the lower frequencies will end up in the woofer. Now, on these headphones, though, there's only one driver, so an increase in signal response is not going to mean that there's good sound quality. I am not counting on these things to sound good, but I wanted to see what kind of information the publishers had online at least, so I went to their website and this is what happened. What you're looking at is a screenshot of their products page. Now, not only are these earphones not listed on here, but you're also looking at their entire product catalog from A to Z. Now, I think it's pretty ridiculous that there were at least 100 of these earphones in the store, and the website doesn't even mention them, but as I was in the middle of that thought, the sorority and fraternity products bit caught my eye. I thought, well, I can't leave this website without checking that out, and lo and behold, it led me to another site entirely. I'm confused and I give up trying to make any sense of it. Alrighty, back over to the earphones themselves. I want to get these things out of the box. It's been about 5 years or so since I've used a pair of headphones, and I'm on something of a quest to find a reliable pair for listening at home and on the road. Anyways, opening these things up, I'm kinda disappointed. I mean, I wasn't expecting the zipper to stop at a cable junction like this. I thought the zipper was going to extend from the very top of the earbuds all the way down to the 3.5mm jack, which was how I thought it was going to keep itself from tangling. With it like this, I feel like it's still going to tangle on itself somehow. I do very badly want to try out that zipper though. Zippers are one of those things for me that I just constantly fiddle with, and I will say this in his favor. The zipper slides pretty well and it glides very naturally, which is more than I can say for most of the hoodies that I own. Now, maybe it's because it's not on fabric, I don't know. In the middle down here where the earbud wires join, there's a microphone and a talk button, and they're pretty nicely placed, I guess, but I still think you'll have to pull the microphone up a little bit to be heard more clearly. Everything else, cable and all, is, pretty much standard headphones or pretty much standard microphone headphones for phones. I mean, there's not really much else I can say about it. Let's try them out. I want to give these things the best possible chance that they'll have of sounding good, so I'm going to be using a 1/4 inch to 3.5mm headphone jack adapter and plug that into the headphone socket of my amp. It's a Pioneer QX646 and I've never had it not sound good. The sound source is going to be a CD, also from a Pioneer unit, the PD M710 cartridge loading CD player. I have a lot of different types of formats, but a really well mastered CD, and I emphasize well mastered, has always sounded the best to my ears. Speaking of which, the album that I'm going to be using today to test this is Led Zeppelin II, the Jimmy Page recent re-release. This does have the bonus material, but I'm going to be sticking with the regular album disc because that's what I think most people are going to be familiar with. Also, I know it looks weird, but yes, in this CD player the CD does go in upside down. The reason for that is because the laser is top-mounted inside of the unit, which is supposed to accommodate a 6-disc multiplay magazine if one is used. But I'll get to that in another review. For now, let's see how the headphones sound. Alright, so here we go. This is going to be my first time trying these out, and I have both of the potentiometers for bass and treble set to their pretty much exact middle. So we'll see what kind of tone we get out of these things. Oh god, it already sounds wrong. Bass just kicked in. No. Within the first couple of seconds, I mean, I've heard a whole lot of love way too many times to know that it does not sound right through these. As a matter of fact, to get the headphones sounding anywhere close to what I thought would be a natural sound, I had to turn the treble all the way up and the bass all the way down. It's absolutely horrible. I don't want to leave anyone wondering how bad these headphones actually sound though, so I've taken the liberty of making a close representation of what it sounds like through these things by using the graphic equalizer in Audacity. The first section is a direct rip of the CD, and this second one is my representation of what it sounds like. Unfortunately, I can't show much more than that because of copyright law, but I hope the clips will help. Alright, my final thoughts on these things. For $10 and the novelty of having a zipper to keep them from tangling, it's still getting a solid no from me. I mean, mainly because I've seen other headphones with better quality that just sound so much better than these and still have the ability to prevent tangling. You see that little nub right there? You're supposed to slide that up to keep the earphones from getting tangled, so the zipper is effectively as useful as that. Now, glow-in-the-dark is cool and all, and I'm glad they threw in the support for a microphone, but none of that makes up for the bad sound quality. I don't even want to test it to find out how bad the mic really is. It's probably way worse than the earphones. I mean, I've had my audio equipment long enough to know how it sounds, and it does a fantastic job with the things that it's given, but those headphones are beyond help, and believe me, your $10 is better spent elsewhere. And you know what? That's not even enough to say about it. I mean, one second. In addition to everything that's already wrong with these things, if the zipper is undone and you have these in and you start moving, you can hear the thing scraping against itself while you're moving around because it travels all the way up the zip line, it gets right in your ears and right in the way of the music, and I hate having to wear them like this. It feels weird to me. And another thing that's getting me in a brouhaha is the fact that they're so heavy. They fall right out of your ears mid-headbang, no matter what size silicone ear pad you have on it. If you take these off and leave them unzipped, they're still going to get tangled anyway, so there's really no point in even having the zip. I mean, logically, do you know anyone who zips up the hoodie after taking it off? I mean, why would I do that for my earphones? This is without a doubt one of the most disappointing things I've ever bought, and the next time I see one of these cheap-ass bargain deals, I'll have this horrific reminder to look back on, and I'm saving up and I'm getting a quality pair of earphones. These things are awful.